What's up? Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. The NFL trade deadline has come and gone, so I thought it'd be a good time to revisit free agency. There's still a few notable names out there, and since the Bears only made the one minor move by trading for Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, could they explore a couple of free agents that are out there? I will take a look at three players specifically that I think the Bears could look into and potentially sign to help this football team. And yes, little teaser, they are all defensive players. Before we get to that, if you want to support the show, hit that subscribe button. We are 100% free, whether we're filming in the studio, whether we're filming in my home office. We got you covered here on a daily basis. So do not miss out on anything when it comes to the Chicago Bears. We got you covered. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button. Okay, the first free agent we're going to discuss is Asante Samuel Jr. And as we told you guys yesterday, it was reported from Jeremy Fowler that Asante Samuel Jr. is visiting with 6 teams, and one of those teams is indeed the Chicago Bears. He will visit with the Bears next Tuesday. He met with the Panthers on Wednesday, Packers on Thursday here today. He's meeting with the Vikings tomorrow, the 49ers on Monday, the Bears on Tuesday, and then I believe Pittsburgh Steelers, yes, next Wednesday. Ian Rappaport added that he's taking a very thorough approach here to his process as he has been recently medically cleared. He had a spinal fusion surgery that had to do a follow-up checkup in mid-October. He is supposedly passed that checkup and been medically cleared. Now, all these teams will and should do their own medical exam. They'll obviously give him a physical, being the Chicago Bears, and all these other teams put him through a workout and see what kind of shape he's in, because that's part of this as well. He has not played in a football game since early last season, so you're talking like 14 months ago. So it's been a while for Asante Samuel Jr. That being said, with where the Bears are at corner, this is a guy with 6 career interceptions, 37 breakups, has played mostly on the outside, which is what the Bears need, but he could kick inside as well. I think he's got the skill set to do that, to play slot corner. But right now, your outside corners are Tyrique Stevenson, Nahshon Wright, and then your top backups, Nick McLeod, and you got Jalen Jones after that. Jalen Jones is really just a special teamer. Nick McLeod can play in a pinch, but he's a better nickel than he is an outside corner. So a guy like Asante Samuel, at minimum, would provide you with a quality backup. At maximum, would give you a potential starter. I mean, is he better than Nahshon Wright? For his career, he absolutely is. Now, he's played in more zone scheme defenses than man. Again, he hasn't played in over a year. He's had this major injury. So, it's hard to say if they signed him today, would he be a better option than Nahshon Wright immediately? That's probably a tough sell. I don't want to undersell what Nahshon Wright's been able to do as a career journeyman. I think he's done some good things this year, but he's a career backup for a reason. Like Asante Samuel's a solid starter for his career for a reason. So I'd be very interested. All these teams are going to look into him. Maybe he sets up a couple more visits. But, as we discussed yesterday, I think the Bears have some decent things to offer. A, if they win on Sunday, which they don't meet with them until next Tuesday, they'll be a 6-3 team. And B, he has a path to playing. Even if not right away, he'd be probably one injury away from playing. If not, potentially competing for a starting role instantly with a guy like Nahshon Wright. So if I'm Asante Samuel in his camp, I think the Bears would be pretty high on my list. Now he's visiting with Green Bay today. I don't love their cornerback room. If they sell him on a starting role right away, maybe he signs with them. So we'll have to wait and see. It sounds like he's going to take all these visits. It does not sound like he'll sign this weekend. He'll probably go through these 3 visits before this weekend of games, see what happens. Maybe an injury pops up somewhere. Take the 3 visits next week. Sign with the team probably mid-late next week if someone makes him an offer. And then perhaps by the following week, which would be week 12 at that point, he'd be ready to play. So that would be my guess when it comes to Asante Samuel Jr. But I'm very interested. I think he could help this team if he's healthy and he's back to being the player he was before the spinal neck issue, which is obviously a very scary deal. And some of these teams may not medically pass him, even though his doctors have medically cleared him to return. Okay, we'll take a look at two more free agents coming up here in just a moment, but do want to tell you guys about our awesome sponsor. That is PrizePicks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with PrizePicks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on PrizePicks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. It's very easy to navigate the PrizePicks app. It takes less than 90 seconds to download it and create an account at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Takes less than 60 seconds to set a lineup. All sports are available: football, basketball. You got hockey going on right now, soccer, tons of sports. You pick players and you take more or less on their stat projections. 2 players up to 6 player lineups. The larger your lineups, the bigger potential payout, obviously up to 2,000 times your entry on certain lineups. That's right. With PrizePicks, you can turn $10 into $20,000 on one single lineup if you hit, which is awesome. I've got a 2-player lineup I already have cooked up for this weekend. Caleb Williams and Jackson Dart. I took more on both of their passing yard projections. 227.5 for Caleb, 199.5 for Dart. That's a $20 lineup to win $55. But again, you do more players, you can get a lot more money. Check out PrizePicks today. Download the app and use the code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Okay, how about a familiar face, DeMarcus Walker, who the Bears cut right before free agency, which to me was a mild surprise at the time. I think it was one of those scheme decisions. They saved a little bit more than $5 million. Obviously ended up giving Dayo Odeyingbo a big contract, but kind of like Dayo Odeyingbo, what DeMarcus Walker offers is positional flexibility. You can play him on the edge, you can kick him inside, and I think that's where his value really is. He was a rah-rah guy for this team. It's not like he was terrible with the Bears. He had 7 sacks in 2 years. That first year, he played pretty banged up. He did recently work out for the Washington Commanders. He's only 31 years old. I'm shocked he's not on a roster. I mean, he's not a bad player. Now, not a great player. He's not going to fix your pass rush, but at a position, especially at edge, that you're still relatively thin at, I think a guy like Walker could come in here. He knows the guys. He knows the that locker room pretty well. Obviously, different scheme, and I think clearly when they cut him, that was part of the decision that Dennis Allen may not have viewed him as a great fit, but you also kind of just need dudes, and he's a veteran guy that I think at minimum could just eat a few snaps. You could kick him inside on occasional passing downs. I would be interested in DeMarcus Walker. On the flip side, he's still not signed. So, like, is there something we're missing? I don't really know what the issue is with him at this point in time. But he's been working out, worked out for the Commanders recently. So I would kick the tires here. You bring in Joe Tryon, Showinka. Obviously, guys like Chris Williams are still getting snaps at defensive tackle. You can't tell me DeMarcus Walker can't at least hold his own with some of the depth pieces you have along this defensive line at this point in the season. Okay, then lastly, kind of a big ticket name here, Christian Wilkins. Remember that whole situation? The Raiders cut him in July. Last year, he missed most of the season after they signed him to a big contract due to a foot issue. He had surgery. Then he was rehabbing it, and it sounds like there was some kind of setback, and the Raiders wanted him to have a second surgery. He and his personal team disagreed. It was kind of an ongoing issue, and new coaching staff, new front office, they just cut bait. They cut Christian Wilkins in late July as training camp was getting going, and they decided to part ways, and he has not signed with the team since. Now, there's also rumors of were there locker room issues with him in Las Vegas. I'm not really sure that full story. That's kind of a hush-hush situation from what I've been told. But a couple of things here. One, we don't know if the foot is healed. I would assume if he had surgery, we would have been told that by now. So I'm guessing he is not. But it's been over 3 months. Maybe he's rehab, maybe he's healthy. But there's been no new update on that. So we don't know his health situation. Two, when he is healthy, I'm not going to call him one of the best, but he's a damn good defensive tackle. He can penetrate the pocket. He can rush. He can play the run well. Kind of reminds me of Akeem Hicks. He's a trash talker. He's kind of a funny guy. We've seen all those audio clips over the years, the NFL films stuff. So I am a little surprised we have not heard more on what's going on with Christian Wilkins. Maybe people in the league know more than people like you and me don't in terms of like the personality locker room stuff. Again, I can't speak to that. What I can speak to is when he's been healthy, he's a disruptive interior pass rusher. A healthy Christian Wilkins would be the best defensive tackle on this team. I don't think that's hyperbolic to say. So, like, I mean, if you called him and he's in shape and you work him out and he'd play for the vet minimum for the rest of the year, you're telling me you wouldn't sign Christian Wilkins unless there's something we don't know about him being a disastrous locker room fit. You could do a lot worse than this guy. I mean, he could certainly help this team, I would have to imagine. But again, don't know, A, the health situation, and B, the locker room fit aspect of this as well. Both those things obviously matter a lot, but that's why you make calls, poke around, and just see if you are the Chicago Bears. So there you go. Asante Samuel Jr., DeMarcus Walker, and Christian Wilkins, 3 notable free agents that I'd kick the tires on and at least see if they are healthy. We do know that Samuel is going to visit Hallis Hall next Tuesday. You guys comment below before we get out of here. Name a free agent that you think the Bears should sign or multiple before the end of the season as Chicago tries to make a push for the postseason, sitting at 5-3 at about the halfway mark before they play the Giants on Sunday again. You're not signing anyone before this game. Joe Tryon, Shawinka is expected to play on Sunday, so that will help, at least from a, eat some snaps standpoint. We'll see what he's able to do in his first action. But a couple of these other guys, maybe you could sign them in the coming weeks, and they could help you for a straight stretch run. Let us know who you want the Bears to sign. My name is Harrison Graham. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'll see you guys very soon here on Chicago Bears Now. Peace.